Most financial institutions realise, well, they're going to have to comply. And not only that, but the governments of many countries got in on the act, and they realised that it was actually better for them to agree with the US that they would make sure their financial institutions comply. And so we have these intergovernmental agreements, or what are called IGAs, where countries have entered into an agreement with the US where they will ensure the compliance of the financial institutions in their country. And New Zealand has entered into intergovernmental agreement with the US in June this year. So now all New Zealand institutions will have to comply, and they will have to report to the Inland Revenue annually on any US accounts that they hold. And so the first reporting cycle has to happen by 30th of June next year. So we have our New Zealand financial institutions, and here are some of our well-known banks, and they're all caught by FATCA, so they have to comply, and they're all going to have to register with the IRS and obtain a GIN number to say that they're a foreign financial institution that complies with FATCA. And so all financial institutions who want to comply with FATCA, even though they might have an IGA, they still have to register with the IRS and obtain a GIN number. And then they report to their local authority, in our case the Inland Revenue. And so you might wonder, why is this relevant to trustees and family trusts? Well, under FATCA, a family trust is treated as an entity, and it can be a financial institution. So a trust can be what's called an FFI, or a foreign financial institution. It's the term used under FATCA, and the term I'll use for the rest of the presentation. So effectively, our family trusts are being turned into banks, or being treated similar to banks for FATCA purposes. So we now have lots of trust banks. If you remember Trust Bank from I think the 1980s and early 90s.